Ready for another MPGomatic highway test drive? This week's victim is a marvelous 2018 Lexus LS 500 four-door sedan with the F Sport package. It's packing a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 under the hood with a 10-speed sequential automatic transmission. It's got all-wheel drive, and boy, oh boy, this interior is completely over the top. I love it. There's one big thing that I don't like about it, and that's because of my life choices. I can't afford one right now, but ooh, am I enjoying it this week. We're going to put this out on the highway. We're going to do a highway lap in eco mode to see how fuel efficient it is. And then later on in the video, we'll fit in the 0 to 60 to see how quick it is. I think it's pretty quick. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to fall in, but from my seat of the pants testing, I gotta say this is one of the quicker things that I've tested this year. Now, if you're interested in buying an LS 500, if you are actively shopping, you want to get a great price, you got to get a local price. And to do that, go up here, hit that fly out button or down into the description of this video, go to my website, MPGomatic.com. You'll land on a page that explains the process. You enter your information into the form and you'll get contacted by a local dealer. Don't do this unless you're actively shopping. Otherwise, you're going to get pestered by dealers.
The LS is offered in 3 trim levels: LS, LS Hybrid, and LS F Sport. The base model starts at slightly over $75,000 with rear-wheel drive. We're in an all-wheel drive LS 500 F Sport with a starting MSRP of $84,220. Our tester features an optional panoramic sunroof and the Mark Levinson Quantum Logic Immersion Reference Surround Sound audio system, which pumps out 2,400 watts through 23 speakers. 2018 marks the 5th generation of the LS flagship and the first one to lack a V8 engine, but that's okay. The 2018 LS 500's direct-injected 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 marks the first time that Lexus has employed a twin-turbo setup. Paired with a 10-speed sequential automatic, power delivery is smooth and responsive, with 416 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque on tap. Yeah, it doesn't have that V8 growl, but the symphony from the tailpipes is still pleasing, and the shifts are crisp. 91 octane fuel is required, and E15 is factory approved. Lexus estimates the 0 to 60 mile/hour time at 4.6 seconds with rear-wheel drive. The F Sport package includes an adaptive variable suspension system, a beefy brake upgrade, and a sweet F Sport steering wheel, along with a whole bunch of interior and exterior components. There's plenty of cush for the twin turbo's whoosh. It's quite relaxing to drive and way too easy to get a speeding ticket. Rarely will most drivers dial a system into Sport or Sport Plus mode, but it's there when you need it. The LS 500's interior is fabulous, and the F Sport's 28-way seats provide a remarkable amount of adjustability through the infotainment screen. The controls are so extensive that you should be parked, not driving, while you're making adjustments to the front buckets. Which brings us to the LS 500's Achilles heel. It takes a while to get accustomed to the infotainment system's trackpad input. Conquer the learning curve and you just might end up loving it, but it's bound to bring some frustration along the way. And while the optional Mark Levinson sound system is spectacular, the lack of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support in the 2018 model will be disappointing for some. But there's plenty of places to plug in, with a pair of USB ports inside the center console and another pair inside the rear center armrest.
Rolling up to the entrance ramp, first thing I'm going to do is reset the average MPG meter. We're at about 40 at the top of the ramp. And it's a little cold today, so I'm going to watch out for ice. Nice and smooth, absolutely planted. Boy, oh boy, does this feel great. Wow, bottom of the ramp, I'm at 42. Absolutely glued. Now what I'm going to do for this first lap is switch into eco mode, and I can feel it. When I switch, I can feel it in the pedal. I'm at 55. We're just rolling up the ramp, and I usually like to take it nice and easy up this ramp. Once I get to the crest here, then I'll make the merge. I'll take it up to about 65, which is the speed limit here in Jersey. And then we've got another little hill to climb. Now that we've crested this hill, I'm going to take it up to 68, and I'm going to turn the adaptive cruise on. In addition to adaptive cruise, this has blind spot mirrors, of course, and it has an active lane keep steering system that helps you keep you off the lines. You'll feel subtle steering inputs. It is not hands off. You don't let the car steer for you. It's just there to help nudge you back a little bit, and it's really subtle. I like it so far. The official EPA spec for this car is 18 city, 27 highway. We're just a bit into this 40-mile-plus loop, and it's looking pretty good so far. We're sitting at 28.1. I'm extremely impressed with how quiet this car is out on the highway at speed. Boy, we're going to go over this bridge. You're going to hear it get loud for a second. That's the difference between concrete and asphalt. Now we're back to speed. Super quiet and smooth. Okay, right now, this guy in front of us is only doing 55. We're going to get into the center lane, and because we have our adaptive cruise on, it is going to automatically accelerate for us, but it's going to do it in a very calm and sedate way. Now it's got us back up to 67. We're going to hit 68 in a second. There we go. We're 3/4 of a mile from the corkscrew. We're at 27.9, and everything is looking good. We're at 56. I want to mention it's 37 degrees out there, so you don't want to go in too hot. We're going to get over. I have an SUV on my tail. I'm sitting at about 45. Foot off, completely off. Now we're coasting down to 42. I'm going to get my foot back on the throttle. Nice and easy through here. Take it through at 41. We are just glued. This is awesome. This just feels great. 46 at the end of the loop. That SUV has faded from view. Let's get on over to climb up the hill. Speed limit is lower here. I mention this every time. It's a pretty tough merge. There's always plenty of police presence. You don't want to speed through here. So right now I'm doing 60 because I have to, even though it's 55. We're going to move over to get into the center lane momentarily. As soon as we can. There we go. Now I'm in the center lane. I'm going to put it into cruise right here. And because it's adaptive, if I just set it for 60, it will tail that car. When the car starts to accelerate in front of me, I'll just give it a little more juice. And you'll see it'll go back to 2 lanes here. And then it'll go up to 68. We are sitting at 28.3 MPG. The merge can be tough up here with the turnpike traffic, so I tend to stay in the left lane when I can, and since I'm passing all this traffic anyway, we're just fine. It's a Sunday afternoon, early Sunday afternoon, and we've got some pre-Christmas traffic, but overall, it's pretty light. I'm a conscientious driver, so I moved over to the right lane because traffic was open. Now we've got that turnpike merge, and it looks like it's pretty light, so we're fine. Got 1 car, 2 car here. I'll just move over to the left, let him in. And then once I get past him, or if he speeds up, I'm going to move back over. Looks like he's going to speed up, so I'm going to tuck in right behind and watch what happens with the adaptive cruise. My foot is completely off the accelerator pedal. It's giving me some space. It's letting him crawl away. I'm doing 67. He's doing a bit more. And all is good. Now we're coming up to my exit here. This marks the halfway point. And right here I'm getting out of cruise control. And I'm going to get off the gas and get on the brake a little bit. Usually try to get out of cruise right around the top of that hill. We're at 43, nice and smooth through the ramp. Calm and controlled. I love to take this car through the corners because it is solid and the seats really hold you in place. I'll tell you more about the seats on the way back, but right now, looks like we're at 27.8 at the halfway point, which is pretty good. And now that I'm sitting here looking at the screen, I can see, ooh, my horizon line is off a little bit. Let's straighten that camera out. Here we go. And we're going to crawl away from the light nice and easy. We're just going to get right back onto the highway. .35 through the ramp here. 40 at this point. 42. Tightening up. Getting some lean going on, but it is just stuck really nice. Ooh, yeah. Real nice. 47 there. And we'll let that box truck go by. Ease on into the lane. And we're at 60. I'm going to set the cruise right here for 64. And then, once we get to the top of the hill and crest it, I'll take it all the way up to 68. We're cruising nice and easy at 68 on the highway. I'm not sure if you can see it right back there. There's a guy bringing his Christmas tree home on the highway. He was doing about 70. It looks like he's slowed down a bit. Boy, oh boy, if that tree is dropping its needles tomorrow, you'll know why. Getting close to the ramp to go back onto 195, and we are at 27 miles per gallon even. I've been running this highway loop for, boy, oh boy, 10 years now, and it seems like I always lose a bit of fuel economy on the way back. Just the way it is, we're headed uphill. And we're into the ramp at about 54. Got to watch out for sneaky potholes in here. We're not in cruise control right now. Super solid through here. If you can carry speed, that's a good thing for your fuel economy because you don't have to get back on the throttle as aggressively as you head back onto 195. Making the merge at 60, and I'm going to set the cruise right here for 62 because we've got a hill. And this is one of the little secrets. I do it all the time. I wait until after I'm up the hill to go for that last 5 or 6 miles per hour. You lose a lot of efficiency when you're accelerating uphill. It's a good thing to accelerate when you're headed downhill, but when you're headed uphill, it's just eating up the fuel. Inertia is a great thing. Don't waste it. Make it work to your advantage. So I'm going to just tap it up to 68 right here. Because we're hovering right around the EPA highway spec, I'm going to try something. I'm going to turn off the seat heater and turn off the heated steering wheel to see if that will boost the numbers a little bit. I've got a theory that it will make a bit of a difference, just don't know how much. Coming up to the sweepers, and we're at 27.1. This is one of my favorite parts of the loop when the traffic isn't heavy. Nice, easy sweeping turns. You may notice all those lines on the road. You're wondering what those things are if you're living in a part of the country where it doesn't freeze up in the winter. Those lines are actually salt brine that the road crews spray on the roads to prevent them from freezing. Just about ready to finish up this loop of 40 or so miles, and it's looking good. We're going to hit spec, maybe just a wee bit more. And right here, turn cruise control off. Work that inertia. And we'll see what we get as we roll up to the finish point. Now, I always let off going into these ramps. There's another place where you don't have to be on the gas. Take it nice and gently. You're going to have to brake anyway. Obviously, if there are people behind you, you've got to be cognizant of that and considerate to everyone. You don't want to hold anyone up. You don't want anybody running up your bumper. But if you want to save some fuel and people aren't around, this is the perfect place to do it. Coming up to the finishing point, and the final number is 27.3. So just a hair over spec, 37 degree temperatures with seat heaters on and the steering wheel heater on for most of the trip. I'm going to try a bit of this one more time to see how we do with cruise control off, because very often cruise control can negatively affect your fuel efficiency. You can get better results when you do it yourself and don't let the machine do the thinking for you. So I'm going to reset and see how we do. There are countless variables on every single run. Each time you touch the brake pedal or the accelerator pedal, you're either losing inertia or using more fuel. So the less touch on the pedal, the more efficient you are. And a good driver, generally speaking, is more efficient than any cruise control, because you can make judgments that the cruise control absolutely can't. Things like elevation changes, anticipating traffic, stuff like that, they make a lot of difference, a whole lot of difference. So from this bit of the loop so far, I can tell that even though I'm running faster than I was running, I'm still going to be in really, really good shape, because when I'm headed downhill, I can just get my foot off the throttle. When I see that things are going to slow up, I can let up early. I can think better than cruise control, because cruise control does not have the sensors that the human brain does, right? You got to use your eyes, you got to use seat of the pants, and when you do that, you can gain a few MPG. So I think we'll take this maybe to the corkscrew to see how high we can go. Right now I'm doing 74 and I'm in the same ballpark. I'm actually going faster than I was before. Cruise control keeps your speed down, but it doesn't always make the best decisions for efficiency. Cruising at 65 miles per hour, the speed limit, this engine is turning, I'd say about 1400 RPM. Nice and easy, just above idle. Two miles before the corkscrew, and we're at 29.8. I've been varying speeds between 60 and 74. Exactly 1 mile before the loop, we're at 29.7. Let's see where we are at the end of the loop. I predict we'll be a good bit over 30. Maybe even 31, 32. Getting off the highway right at 61. Foot off the accelerator. It's going to coast down a bit. And at 52, I've got my foot back on the pedal. Don't need to go any faster than that up this ramp. Gotta watch for the merge on the right. Looks clear. Pickup truck closing on me. I am at 46, top of the ramp, and that pickup truck is going to fade into the distance. Both hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Let's see how she does through it this time. We're at 44. Wow, this feels great. I could drive this ramp all day long. Lots and lots of grip. We're at 43, didn't lose anything. And top of the ramp, we are at 31.2. There you have it. Of course, once we get to the merge up here, we'll be a bit lower, and we're looking at 30.4. This will be from a standing stop in normal mode. And this time we're going to go in Sport Plus mode, and we're going to turn traction control off.